What started as a partisan brawl in Texas has become a national story as Governor Greg Abbott moved to create 5 new Republican districts, the process called gerrymandering. Renegade Democrats fled the state. To prevent a vote, Abbott has asked the FBI to arrest them. No active effort there, and blue state governors are threatening to redraw their own congressional maps.
Things are so bad for the Democrats that they're just not showing up for work is considered a victory for them in Texas.
Republicans are trying to take away districts and on the backs of Latino and African-American voters in the state.
Joining us now from Austin, Karl Rove, the Fox News contributor and former Bush White House official. Karl, let's start with your home state where all the action is and all the media coverage. Does it look bad for the renegade Democrats who hightailed it out of Texas and are now facing possible arrest? Because the press sure seems to be rooting for them.
Well, it is bad for them because back here in Texas, they're seen as not doing their job, and they're saying things that are simply not true. Take the Democrat spokesman you had on the CNN program. The redistricting plan that has been proposed in the House of Representatives, Texas House, creates 2 black majority districts for the first time in the history of Texas and creates an 8th Hispanic-majority population district. So the idea that this is on the backs of blacks and browns is ridiculous. It's just the opposite. For the first time ever, Texas would have a compact, contiguous district in Dallas that is majority black and a similar district in Houston that's majority black.
But you say this spectacle isn't necessarily a slam dunk for Greg Abbott and the Republicans either.
No, because here's the math. There are 150 members of the Texas House of Representatives, 88 Republicans, 62 Democrats, and the quorum, you need to have 100 members of the state House in order to conduct business, and that means you got to get 12 Democrats to come home. Now, there are 9 who have shown up. There's a 10th whom I've been told is in town. That means they need to get a couple more. And the Speaker of the House has taken some rather unusual steps. The governor's filed lawsuits, the Attorney General's filed lawsuit, but the Speaker has said if you want to get paid, and more importantly, if you want to get your per diem that you're due for each day of the special session, you have to show up in person in order to pick up the checks. And oh, incidentally, if you're not here, we're going to kill 1/3 of your monthly budget, which means that every one of those Democrats who has not shown up is going to have to fire one of their people because their budget doesn't allow them to pick up the tab. So, look, this is going to end sooner rather than later, and it always does. And think about this. We have 31 members of the Texas State Senate. They're all showing up, Democrats and Republicans alike.
Well, what drives me crazy about this story, frankly, is the hypocrisy. Both parties do this, have done this, draw these crazy-looking districts in order to maximize their power when they have the raw power to do so. And then the other side is, oh, we're so outraged about it. But you can't, if you look at history, you see gerrymandering in both parties.
Oh, absolutely. Both parties do it. And this is one of the fun things for me is that, take a look at this. Think about it. They went to Illinois. Trump got 40% of the vote in Illinois, and 82% of the members of the delegation are Democrats. New York, 43% for Trump, 73% of her Democrats. Then California, 38%, and 83% of the delegation are Democrats. And what about Texas? In Texas, Donald Trump got 56% of the vote, and the Republicans are 66% of the total. Now, what will happen is if the new plan is adopted, then 79% of the delegation will be Republican. That's assuming that the Republicans defeat a popular, albeit troubled, Democrat incumbent in South Texas who ran 6 points ahead of Kamala Harris. But then they wouldn't be as partisan redistricted as either California or Illinois, and slightly more partisan redistricted than New York.
Uh-oh, he's got the whiteboard out. It's kind of intimidating. Karl, with the blue state governors in California, in Illinois, in New York, how does this play with the average voter? Because ordinarily it would be kind of a boring subject for political nerds, but in reality, the who controls the House next year may be at stake.
It may be, and look, Democrats, even if this wasn't going to potentially have an impact on the outcome of the 2026 midterms. They'd be using it for political purposes. This allows them to whip up their base. The governor of New York is prohibited by her state constitution from redistricting in the middle of the decade, and she's talking about doing exactly that. How Illinois could go any further in gerrymandering is beyond me. They could look at that map. It is one of the weirdest maps I've seen, and I've been following redistricting for a long time. And California, again, their constitution says it will be done by an independent commission, and now the governor's saying, well, we're going to pass a legislative proposal, and then we'll go to the voters in November and get them to retroactively dismiss the commission and allow this to happen for the purpose of the next election. Talk about, you know, sort of a weird machination. That ain't going to work.
Well, Karl Rove, thanks very much for your analysis from Texas. We appreciate it.